Hi, everyone. We are so excited that you have joined us today. We can't wait to learn about how to get customers now. Um, and so if you haven't, drop a line in the chat. Let us know who your customers are. Let's get that chat going today. And I am going to kick it over to Tanya.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tanya with Grow Nebraska, and today I'd like to just thank our featured sponsor, Dawson Public Power. They are headquartered in Lexington, and they do kind of a 143-mile radius. They have kind of their service area where they'll have an economic developer on their team help you. His name is Dave. And so if you're in that area, I would highly encourage you to check out Dawson Public Power's assistance with small businesses. And then our featured member of the month is Creative Advantages. And Abby has been a member with us since 2022. And so she does marketing, social media. And so if you're ever looking to ever outsource that as your business continues to grow, Abby's a great contact to get involved with.
If you're a small business owner,
then I'm going to pass it quickly back here to Cami.
We have Market Tech coming up. So if you haven't heard, Market Tech is a conference that is in Kearney, Nebraska. And we just had a training of a sneak peek of Chelsea yesterday. We're going to have another one on March 6th. And so if you haven't, get registered so you can see a sneak peek. Otherwise, we just want to take the opportunity to hear from her on why you should not miss Market Tech this year.
And you're in Kearney, Nebraska, you are not going to want to miss the annual Market Tech Conference happening on March 25th and 26th, 2025. I'm Chelsea Pites. I'm one of your keynote speakers. I'm going to be teaching you the science of the screen-to-screen connection, how to effectively build digital trust online. I'll be joined by some incredible speakers who are experts in their field, and we offer 4 tracks this coming session: marketing and social media, e-commerce and web, innovation, and tourism. Head on over to the markettechconference.com. You'll be able to register, see the agenda and all of the speakers, and reserve your tickets.
Awesome. Yeah, we're super excited to have Chelsea come out. And if you want to kind of get the sneak peek, I would highly encourage you to hop on over to our YouTube channel and check out her session, as well as all of our trainings that we've had in the past. And then our wonderful speaker of the day is Maria, and we greatly appreciate Maria. She has spoken at Market Tech. She's led our Google webinars I think for almost 3 years now, and she is our Google expert. And so I will let her take it away.
Thank you very much. Let me just switch here to share. All right. You're probably going to see me in two places. Not to worry, that's just the way this platform works that I do broadcast from, but I'm excited to be here and definitely excited to talk about how you can get customers now. So I'm looking in the chat box just to see, because I know there was a call out to, if you want to shout out who your customers are, I would love to hear that. You'll find that I do keep every session very interactive to the people in the room, and I actually customize everything to the people in the room. So if you're watching it in post, not to worry, you're still going to get value, but there's so much value when you're here. And I want you to know that's what is available to you here. So let's go ahead and switch over here so you can see. Actually, thank you to Grow Nebraska. Grow Nebraska, you rock. You take so much great care of the small business and all business community within not just your area, but the entire state of Nebraska. And you truly are vested and want people to be successful. The kind of training that I've seen here with Grow Nebraska, from Marketech all the way to what you can get on a monthly basis, week to week even, and they're going into the office, the kind of support that you get is amazing. And take advantage of that, because not everybody has this kind of support. OPE, other people's experience, is very important. And that helps you so you can do the other things like be butcher, baker, candlestick maker in your business, and now learn even how to utilize Google in your suite of tools. Now, if you want a copy of today's slides, this is where you need to go. And I'm going to go ahead and also drop this in the chat so you can just tap on the chat box link and then it'll take you right there. It is case sensitive. Bitly always is, but I will drop it here so you can just tap and go. The important thing to do here is to download what you find are the slides or what you'll find, but you're going to go ahead and download that. Don't just click on it and look at it, because after the session is over, it'll no longer be available at this link. It will be emailed to you and of course available to Grow Nebraska on the site, but this is how you can have it right now. And you may want to take advantage of being able to implement what you learn right now. In fact, I highly encourage that. People believe that knowledge is power, and it is not. There are many people that can win a trivia pub quiz that don't even know how to make a dime. Knowledge is not powerful until it's applied. So that's how you can apply it. You can use that QR code, and you can utilize this actual slide deck as an outline as you implement what you've learned today. All right, we're going to dive in. Just like Tanya said, I've been here for a while, so you guys have probably seen me before, but if you're new and this is brand new session for you and your first time to ever see me, just drop a number 1 in the chat, because I would love to know anybody new here, and of course celebrate everybody that's returning. I appreciate the opportunity to be helpful to your business. We are going to talk about how you can get customers now. Now, if you want to connect with me, at the very bottom left are some handles or some social accounts. The first one is X or Twitter. You can find me there at Maria Duran, or on Instagram at Marketing Coach Maria. I encourage you to tag me there and to connect with me. I love to celebrate when people actually apply what they learn. So I find that most people, and I'm going to say most, it's really about 93%, will listen in, will look, will take copious notes, have great intentions, then they get busy, they get texts, they get the other 12,400 messages they get on any given day, and they're off to do something else. So they have great intention, but they never get anything done. There's only that small 5 to 7% that actually take action, and I want to celebrate you, because that is very rare. So if you do apply what you've learned today, let me know, tag me, and I will do virtual gift dances with you, and I'll share you out with my network, because it's very rare, and I love to work with people who are actually driven to apply what they've learned. This could be great edutainment, but it also could be helpful in making your business, and I know it's helpful in helping you get found and grow your business faster. All right. We know that 50% of people, just so this is 2025 recent, okay, that 50% of people look to 5 or more sources when they buy online. And that's important to know, because we no longer just go online. We live online. How many of us have this device? How many of us may leave a wallet or a bag, but if we leave a phone, we will turn around in busy traffic, no matter what's going on in the time of day, to make sure that we have this little baby with us, because we know how important it is to be connected. This is where we go. And it's important for people to understand that. You know, I think it was 2 years ago when the survey was done that 84% go to their phone first when they want to know, go, do, or buy. And a lot of businesses started building for mobile first and desktop only if they have additional resources and time and energy. But if they didn't, they built just for mobile because they know that's what people are utilizing to be able to find their actual product, service, or solution. But now, that was 2 years ago. Who can say now, right? Because people are going there so much more regularly and they speak to their AI when they search, right? It's not just, hey, Google, hey, Alexa anymore. It's, hey, ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Notebook LM. It's Claude. It's Perplexity, right? We ask all the questions that way. So the way people have searched has changed so dramatically. In fact, we know that because on any given day, there are 15% brand new daily searches of the trillion searches that happen on Google. And understand, 94.8% of people still go to Google when they want to know, go, do, or buy. So when they're ready to make decisions and they need helpful information, while they might discover something on TikTok or Instagram, they actually go to Google when they want to start vetting and looking at additional information. But 15% of the daily searches are brand new, never seen. How can that be of a trillion searches that happen any given day? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm grateful, Tanya. I do see you welcoming everybody. Please share who your best customer is, because that's really important. That kind of stuff is on us. We can't customize what we're doing, nor can we laser focus our targeting at all. And we get lost in the noise if we don't know who our best customer is. Now, if it's anybody that fogs the mirror, that is code for I have no idea who my customer is, right? Because that's too wide. We don't have Coca-Cola type money to reach out and touch everyone to try to be able to get that message. So when we see also people search visually, if you haven't seen it in Amazon, it's been there for quite some time. There is Amazon visual search. You just snap a picture. I could be going along, walking and think, oh my gosh, she's got the coolest shoes, or that's the coolest bag. I can take a picture of it. I don't even have to talk to her, and I can search visually for that bag. Well, you can also do that on Google, and that's been around for the last 8 years. Even when I came onto the Google team 8 years ago, Google Lens, which is how people visual search, has been there, and 12 billion searches happen every single month on Google Lens. So for you, do you have your product and your services? Do you have your services in a graphic or photographic form so that they can show up in search? Are you doing that, or are you missing a big part of the population because you do not provide the opportunity for people to find you visually? And understand, if people don't know you exist, they cannot do business with you. Okay, your best is family and friends. I love that. I love that. Yes, absolutely. Family and friends, they will support you. Start looking at some of the things as far as the demographics and psychographics that are similar amongst them. Of course, you're similar too, and their care for you is wonderful, right? So while the way we do things has changed quite a bit, the core of what we do has not. So marketing principles and how to grow your business and understanding contribution are so important. A lot of people, when I'm talking to them, even about ads, and I'm not talking about Google ads today. In fact, everything that I'm talking about today and any tool I bring up is 100% free. But understand that a lot of people are so hung up on ROAS, return on ad spend, they get romanced by that. And they do not realize that there is more than ad spend that it takes to put any ad out, from a social ad, so Meta, Pinterest, to an Amazon ad, to a Google ad, to a Google search ad or a YouTube ad. There is more than just the actual budget. There is time, energy, and money to create, write the text, put the graphics, start focusing and doing the tracking that needs to happen. And because of that, return on ad spend is such a poor way to measure what's happening. You really need to look at contribution. And part of that we know is that people are looking for personalized experience. They're not looking for creepy, scammy, like, oh, I see you're doing this, but they want to be able to go in there and say, oh my gosh, you looked at this amazing hat, and did you know that it had a matching scarf and gloves too? So they want that kind of personalization. There's the expectation of that. And that's really what we need to focus on, because the expectations in 2025 have changed. If you think about it, when 2020 rolled around, we were all sad when everything shut down and we couldn't get to different places. But boy, were we happy when the first place decided to deliver to us. Now in 2025, we're kind of mad when people don't deliver to our doorstep, because we have what? Heightened expectation. We know that it can be done. And in fact, we think it's basic to get that done now compared to 2020. So when you think about it, think about Amazon. Amazon set the stage and said, we can deliver to you in 24 hours, or maybe even 48 hours if you're more rural, but we can deliver you right away. How competitive do you think somebody is if they say, I can deliver to you and have it to you in 7 to 10 days? It'll cost you $7.95, where Amazon is saying free, 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 and we can get it to you in 24 hours. They know the delivery game. They've got that part down. They're fast to refund, fast to reship out, and that is where the heightened expectations are. So thank you, Amazon. It makes it highly competitive for the rest of us, but know that that's where consumer expectations are. So what you need to do and what our superpower is as small business is to really get to know our customers, which is why we're talking about get customers now. We have to understand who our audience is. If you look there to the far left, that first pillar, we need to know what it is they want to know, what they need along their decision journey. So as they're doing things, if you can help them prevent any pitfalls, provide any additional information, this is gold to them, and they see you as a trusted advisor compared to a commodity. When we are commodity, we compete 100% on price. We are no different from anybody else. So a week ago, I was talking to a group of realtors, right? And you guys may have heard this from me before. If you've been in a session with me, I always ask if you're at a conference where everybody's the same, like, bars and restaurants, or they're all crafters, or they're all content creators, or in this instance, they're all real estate agents. And I say, what is it that you do differently from everybody else in this room that makes you so unique? Because everybody can list it. Everybody can set it up for show so they can stage it. Everybody can be that buyer's agent or those seller's agent. Some people can do commercial. What makes you different? And one lady said, what makes me different is I was 20 years in the school system. I taught everything from grade school all the way up to high school. So I know the school system backwards and forwards. I understand who are the best coaches. If you're more into math and UIL, or maybe you're into soccer, football, or basketball, I know the best way to direct you as you're coming into our community. You may not know it, and I can help you decide where's the best place to be that leaves you closest to the best education that you are looking for, that are customized to you for your kiddos. So you see, that's how she stood out. That's how she was unique. Other than that, everybody else was a commodity, and whoever answered the phone first was going to get the business. But she was able to show her uniqueness and project that online. You also need to know what your challenges and your beliefs are. This is really important. A lot of us put limiting beliefs on what we're going to do. Like I hear people all day long. In fact, I had 3 people today email me before the session saying, we can't have a Google business profile because we're home based. And that is such the biggest myth. If you want to limit yourself and take yourself out of the competition because you believe that, then go right ahead. But I'm trying to tell you, you don't. I'm not going to argue the point with you. You're going to have to get off your own limiting beliefs, but I'm just going to present the facts to you. So for yourself, what are some things that you've limited yourself on? Now, once you know who that best customer is, what you know that makes you so unique, and in marketing, we call that your USP, your unique selling proposition, why you amongst and above everybody else. Now you can start developing those marketing strategies. And there are thousands of marketing strategies that you can pull from. What works for you and what's doable so that you can still take care of the customer and then also still grow your business and have a life, right? We got into business to have a life. Sometimes I laugh because I tell people when I first got into business 20 years ago, I started working for the hardest boss ever. She never lets me off. I work all the time, 24/7, and I don't understand it because I was just, I thought I was going for freedom and it felt like less freedom, right? I figured out ways to get around that, especially with the way I do calendar blocking and the way I handle and take on different actions. But it's important for you to know what that is, because once you know the strategies that fit and align with what gives you the most pleasure and profit, now you can create an action plan. So before, we used to target this way. Before 2025, we'd say, okay, I want to show my product to every 18 to 25-year-old woman with an interest in pickleball shoes, right? Because that's who we determined is our best customer. But now we realize people can be at different stages. It could be whoever's interested in it and doesn't mean just one demographic. So how do we lean into those psychographics, what they do socially, what they are actually interested and focused on, maybe the time they're in their life. And when I say the time of life, it doesn't always mean age. It could also mean, you know what, I just enrolled for class again. I'm going to get my master's or my doctorate degree, and I'm 55 years old, but I've enrolled. So now that puts you in a different bracket of what you need next to be able to be successful at that actual target or goal. So today we're going to talk about how you can be an expert in your customer, how you can level up with Google search, because a lot of people don't see and don't realize exactly what's available to them in search. We'll talk a little bit about analytics and data-driven decisions. I'm not going to take a deep dive there because we do a full session all about that. And if you ever want me to do that, you just get with Tanya and Kimmy, and they are there for you because I'm happy to come back to do that. And as always, I recap with things that you need to look at to be able to apply what you've learned. So this is an investment, not an expense of your time today. And then also free resources, because that's who I am. I'm a bootstrap marketer and I just love free resources. Deal? Everybody ready to go? All right. We know that the decision journey now is not just I'm going along a very linear path. It is scroll, search, social, and shop. That is what we do now, especially with AI, artificial intelligence, powered search in play. And understand, everything, every search engine is powered by AI to different degrees. And that's only going to increase more in 2025. In fact, I was working with our membership yesterday and I gave them the 3 great prompts that they can use to actually put their hub and spoke content together. And they were really excited about that because it just cut out the time to be able to do things. And that's what I love about AI. It not only helps with search and AI overviews, but also because it can help you in crunching large amounts of data and large amounts of pieces of information and pick out patterns and trends. Now, also what you need to know is that AI, because of AI overviews, and you've probably seen that in Google search, is also full in play. And understand, leaning into your business profile and making sure that is fully calibrated and optimized can now max out your ability to be seen in AI overviews with a link to you, which is a great place to be visible, especially since that's the way people are searching now. So scroll, search, social, and shop is what we're seeing. But we also need to be aware of where our buyers are. Okay, because if you're just spouting out all this fantastic information and they're not even wondering, why are you even talking about that? Why does that matter? Then they may not realize there's any issue whatsoever. So they're totally unaware. And that's step 1, the messaging between somebody who's unaware and somebody who is visibly in pain because they are not getting a solution are quite different. So if you think about that, if somebody's unaware, who are you targeting that may be unaware, and then maybe you have to educate? Now, I will tell you, education takes a tremendous amount of time, energy, and money. A lot of people will educate the market and they are really good at that, but they're not. So they prime the pump, but they're not good at bringing in the actual profits. And I see that happen so much because they're in a new market. Maybe they have a new product, a new combination, a new variation. And so now they have to educate the market. And what you actually see, and if you've ever watched Shark Tank, you've heard them talk about it, is you see innovators, imitators, and then you see influencers. So there's innovators, the ones who create it, and they get it right to where it's almost prime. So they've educated the market, which takes a tremendous amount of time, energy, and money. And now the imitators come in and they just start doing that and they dovetail off of it. They don't have to create or be able to educate the public anymore. So they don't have to create brand new content. They can just dovetail on yours. So you see this quite a bit, innovators and imitators. That's a lot of what happens in the marketplace. So where are you? Okay. Number 2 is when your buyer actually realizes, you know what, there's an issue here. It's just not, it's real. They start saying things like the struggle is real. There is something going on and I don't know what it is, but it is a problem. So now they are problem aware. It's important for you to know, what do they really want? Look at that bullet point at the bottom left-hand corner there with the 4 bullet points stacked. That first one is, what do they really want? Now, if I'm working with, let's say, a restaurant, they may say, you know what my customers want are great Italian dining, and they just want it to be beautiful quality, great taste, and great value. That may be some of what they want, but what do they really want? So ask that question. And sometimes you have to get past the surface level answers. But if you can do like the rest of us small businesses, who our superpower is that we actually know our customers by name. We can reach out and touch them, we can connect with them, and we can have more than a transactional relationship with them. We can actually have conversations that are not to sell them anything. We can get to know them as people, then wield that superpower real well and find out what is it that they truly need. Because what they truly need is the ability to have great quality food, low price, and relaxation. They're looking for relaxation. They've had a full week. They don't want to think about cooking anything else. Do you have something that can give you relaxation? So now who you end up competing with is not just every Italian restaurant, any fast food place, any even putt-putt place, movie theater, or a community theater, any place that provides relaxation to people, because that is at core what they really want. When you know that, then you can provide a solution that aligns with them. Now, when they get to stage 3, they're solution aware. They know, oh my gosh, there are some other things here. So let's say if I'm a heating and air conditioning company, and that people are becoming aware that, oh my gosh, if it's so hot, it's 100 degrees, that's always when my AC goes out. Or it's freezing here, it's -10, and this is when my heater's not working. They realize, oh my gosh, there's people that provide maintenance plans. So your customer realizes it and they start looking. There is a solution. If we do maintenance all year long, then we don't have to get into the drama of it's too cold, too hot. And that's the time when all the urgency happens, when everybody else is calling or texting these companies and we have to wait. So they become solution aware. So again, go to bullet point 2. Why are you the answer? Why are you the only solution? Just like I was talking about with that real estate agent. Why you above and beyond anybody else? Because they can all list on MLS. They can all sell it. They can all stage it. They all know the community. What is it that makes you so very uniquely different? Now, stage 4 is product aware. Oh, there are maintenance packages and they come with filters and they come with cleaning. That's amazing. I know there's packages there. There's ABC company that does that, and XYZ company does that, and this refrigeration company or this air conditioning company does that. Then they become product aware. But number 5, maybe where you're focused is you are the main solution. You are the only solution for this. So maybe because not only do they need great heating and air conditioning, but they need it to be clean. So they need people to come in already with their footies and their booties on, so that they're coming in and they're not treading dirt or anything on their carpet. They use nice, pristine tools, so you don't have to worry about oily or anything. They come with their filters, so you don't have to worry about ordering that filter and then making a mistake and having it the wrong size and now returning it. They take care of everything for you, so it's peace of mind. And you don't even need to call them. They're connected to your smart thermostat and it's letting you know what's happening. So they're always maintaining and taking care of you. And they've are the nicest people. June answers the phone and she's amazing. She's so sweet. We already talked about her new grandbaby. And David is always the one who comes out. David or Bill come out and service us. Now all of a sudden it becomes uniquely you. They look for that and they see not just how do they get what they need, but how do you really help them get everything that they need and be their go-to? So what is it that you're doing with your business? Do you understand what people need? Because the worst thing you can do is make an assumption of what people need and then tell them that you think you know it instead of listening to them. And there are many businesses that do that. Larger businesses do that. In order to get to know their customers, now they need to form a committee. They need to figure out from that committee how they're going to find information, maybe pull the customer database, how they'll reach them, and a little bit more about them. And we as small businesses, we are nimble, we are personal, and we need to take advantage of that because we can move fast to get to know exactly what it is that they need. So knowing what our customer needs, you can use things like Google Forms. So how many here have used Google Forms to find out more about your customer? Because you might not be able to do that in one conversation. It would be horrible if you're my customer, and I said, okay, so what is it that you like? What are your challenges? What socials do you use? The minute I start getting into question 3 and 4, it starts becoming an inquisition, and we're not excited or happy about that. So for you, how do you find out more about your customers? Do you utilize the free Google Forms that are available to you in your free personal Gmail account. You do not have to have a workspace account, but to stay connected with them. Even when you deliver something, say, hey, if you love this, we'd love a review. There's a link here on the form, but we'd also like to know a little bit more to personalize everything for you. We don't want to waste your time. We know how busy life can be, and we want to deliver things that only can support you and what you're doing. And you could do that, let's say, even Grow Nebraska, because they take care of so many businesses. I do this quite a bit within our business. There are service-based businesses that are local, so they are within the 35 to 100-mile radius. Their needs are different than an e-commerce business. Their needs are also different from a brick and mortar and an e-commerce business that reaches internationally. So I like to know a little bit more about each of the customers because it's different. When I'm talking to my international e-commerce customers and I'm talking about, how are you dealing with the tariffs and the increase in drayage, which is the actual shipping. So when you go from the boat to the actual warehouse, that's called drayage, that cost in between. So how do you do that? How are you handling that? They see me as somebody who's an expert in their industry, and at least this part of the industry, that can support them. But I only know that because I ask. I can't look at the list and say exactly what everybody does. Now, I know my customers and clients pretty well, that I have a deeper relationship, but that's because I'm continually asking. Every interaction is not just a way to build our relationship, but also for me to get to know them so that I can provide great customized service for them, which is expected. Remember what we saw there at the very beginning? I'm going to go ahead and pause this back real quick so I can go back here. So this will be our reminder. We saw this, that there's that expectation. And this was at the start of 2025. Imagine what is it now as we go into the second quarter of it, okay? All right, let's go ahead and move forward here. All right, there we go. There we go. So now let's level up with Google search. All right. So it all starts with search. You may not know, but search gives you so much already there, but a lot of people don't use it and they don't even realize it. They just skim past it because we're all used to seeing a Google search screen. So I'm going to bring one up here. Hold on while I change screens. That's always a little bit of a challenge. Right. So in Google search, you'll see that, let's say, for example, what's a product somebody has? Just name your product. It could be lettuce. All right, your product is lettuce. All right, look below. Look below in front of you in the screen. You see as I typed how it auto-filled, right? Well, what Google does, because we are a search engine, is it fills in everything that is actively and popularly being searched right now. So that right now, if you're wondering, what are the keywords people use? What can I do to make sure that I am getting visible where people are already looking, where the eyeballs already are? Well, it's telling you right there, front and center in a Google search, where the eyeballs already are. Okay. Now I hit enter and you will see AI overviews come up, right? This is where your Google business profile is your superpower because that's where AI overviews are pulling all their information. So if you don't have and are not using the 750 characters in your Google business profile description and aligning it one-on-one with what people are searching for using their exact words, you are missing out on great opportunity. And understand that only 66% of businesses have a Google business profile. And of those that have a business profile, only 3% actively post or update their description. They set it and forget it. I look at some people's descriptions and I wonder, oh my gosh, this must be pre-2020 because they have not touched it. And people who are managing and know exactly they're trying to optimize and be more visible, so they want to get found fast, are updating their Google business profile regularly, as well as doing updates because they want to get found here so that this little link right here, this little baby, is taking them right to your site or to your business profile. That way you can get found fast. All right, so now we see the AI overview, but here we're going to be talking about search. So what are the words people are using? Here's the other place people look. People also ask, because these 4 questions are the questions they're actively asking right now in search. So do understand that even though ChatGPT, and that's a Bing search, but it's still a search engine, and you look at Perplexity, you look at TikTok search, it all leans into Google search and it pulls information from there. And even though that may be where people discover things when they're ready to do a little bit more research or they really are serious about it, this is where they go. And these are the questions they're asking. Is eating lettuce good for you? Let me know. They want to know. Google, tell me, what are the 4 types of lettuce? So these are the questions people are asking around that. So if I'm wondering, what do I post about today on all my socials? What should my email newsletter be about? What should my blog post? What video should I do on YouTube long form and YouTube shorts? What should I do? It better be about what are the 4 types of lettuce, because the eyeballs are already there. I have no interest in educating the public and just having some imitator run off with all the goodwill and money that I spent to be able to teach the public about what it is. I would much rather get their eyeballs looking at me where their eyeballs are already focused. It takes less time, energy, and far less stress to be able to do that. All right, so now those are the 4 questions being actively asked. Let's toggle down more. Right here, these rectangles, all 8 of them are also the most actively searched terms on Google right now. So again, these are where the eyeballs are already now. Why not be where the eyeballs already are now? Because I just don't have the money to educate the public and then have some imitator do something like this and take off with it because, wow, I put all the stuff out there. Now they can just take advantage and redirect to their site or direct them to their site. Okay. So those are the places that you have already. So that's just the power of search alone. Let's go ahead and go back here. Let me get this out and moved over. Okay. So again, that page of answers, this is key. And the reason I spend so much time on it, because I know a lot of people train on Google Business Profile, but a lot of people don't realize how it needs to be optimized. And that calibration and optimization of updating your Google Business Profile description, use all 750 characters. Don't put any phone numbers, don't put any links there, because if you do, then it is not given favor in the algorithm. In fact, it is penalized and pushed down further in the algorithm and further in search because that information is already part of your business profile. You can find phone numbers, click to call. You can find website links. There's no reason to put it there. The same thing with your updates. If you do updates on this, so those are updates, events, and offers, and if you put a phone number or link in your description, you probably will not get it published, but not if you do get it published, it's not going to be seen. And why would you bother doing any of those postings if you're not going to be seen, right? You want it to be published. So we know that Google is the biggest search engine. A lot of people think it's the World Wide Web. Hopefully they realize now it's not, especially since we have Perplexity and we have ChatGPT at our we also have Bing. So we have a lot of different search engine and search tools. It is the biggest library, the biggest directory of the World Wide Web, because that is Google's expertise. So it's important for you to get your actual digital presence, your website, into Google's library. If it's not in Google's library, then Google doesn't know you exist. And if it doesn't know you exist, how can it develop trust and feel confident with you enough to show you high in search? So part of what we've been talking today is SEO, search engine optimization. What search engine optimization means is that we need to have the search engine trust us, to feel confident in us. And this is really important because all the customers of the search engine, which are often called users, people who go in to use it for search, are coming in there, and Google is giving up at the front what it is most confident about. So is it confident about you? When you think about building trust, for example, and a lot of piece of building trust with actual websites is how fast it loads. So if your site takes longer than 1.2 seconds to load on a mobile device, then you lose you lose half, 53% of your traffic. Okay, so you'll lose those people. And that was an old stat that has not been updated, but I'm pretty sure it's a whole lot faster because people are used to fast, right? We watch TikToks. Everybody knows if you're doing a TikTok campaign, then you have to come out with something amazing in 0.2 seconds in the TikTok. It needs to be controversial, needs to kind of be like in your face. And once they do that, then people will stay on for the TikTok for 10 whole seconds, right? Right. But it needs to happen in 0.2 seconds. So people already know that just doing a TikTok campaign. We need that also to be able to be fast with our actual site. Does it load fast? Because imagine the search engine is building confidence or wanting you to build confidence with it. It wants to feel that it can look to you, that you're true, and that it can depend on you. So let's make it like people. Let's say I'm a website. Google, of course, is the search engine. It's another person. Google and I are going to go meet at a cafe, at a coffee house, and we're going to have coffee together. Google's there hanging out, waiting for me, and I'm taking more than 1.2 seconds to load. So now it's like, All right. All right. Now I'm late. Just think about that. You're waiting for a friend at the coffee house. They say they're going to meet you at noon. They show up to 12:40. They keep texting you, "Oh, I'm late," but they're always late, right? They're always late. There's always something. Dentists, kids, work, somebody did something, accident, but it's never that without fail, they're always late. And usually it's not just 5 minutes late. It'll be a good 30 to 45 minutes late. And you're like, "Oh my gosh, you're wasting my time." How likely are you going to be referring that person? And say, okay, if you refer them, you're gonna give some caveats, which are, all right, you can set up a meeting with them, but know that they're always late. So expect to just sit there for about 45 minutes, or you manage it. Maybe you want to work on your laptop and work there, and then they'll show up. You do that, but it's very rare because they're late. It's the same thing with Google. All right. So if you're late, if you take 1.2 seconds to load, Google is not going to put you at the top of search because it's not a good experience. And it wants its users, its customers, to be amazed by the experience with using the search engine. So no, it's not going to do that. So for you, are your websites are they working so well that they load in that kind of time? Are you making sure that your websites don't have wonky things? So I see a lot of websites where a product name, this may be, this product may be, mobile phone. So it's 2 words. And this one may be great mug that keeps your coffee warm. Okay. Now all of a sudden that's 2 to 3 lines. So now they're off and they're wonky. Understand? We like symmetry. We have trust in symmetry. Overall, the majority of people searching like that. When we see that wonkiness, or you have a little description here and a long description here, so everything's kind of off, we don't trust it. We think it's a foreign phishing site that's just after our information, let alone us buy anything for confidential information. So we're not going to put that information in there. They are trust signals that we need to put within our site, and one that builds distrust right away is when things are wonky and off, or maybe you have a picture of something that's a square and then something next to it's a rectangle, and people are looking going, what is this? Is just somebody put this together? So or is it a real business? Now, do keywords still matter? Yes, they do. But understand, we are more conversational now. We speak in full sentences. So for example, let's say I'm an overhead door company and I'm the most amazing overhead company in Kearney, Nebraska. All right. So I'm amazing. Been around since 1921. We've won the Nebraska Award for Best Overhead Door Company for the past 5 years. We're Businessman or Businesswoman of the Year. We are just amazing. But the person that's searching and needs the help is saying, I need somebody, hey, Perplexity, I need somebody to help fix my garage door. Does overhead door equate to garage door? Maybe in your mind, because you know the industry speak, but not to Google and not to this person who just wants their garage door fixed. The number one pillar in Google's algorithm is relevance. How well do you match what people are actually searching for? That's why I've spent so much time talking about how you get to know your customer and really understanding their words, not your words, not what you want to stuff in their mouth or industry speak or what you think now, because you've got experiential knowledge and they don't, because you're different than they are. Find out exactly what words they're using so that you'll align, because if you don't, you're not going to show up in search. So we can utilize AI as that enabler to help us understand and crunch a tremendous amount of data, but you still need to be the marketer. So AI can help us really look at things like, for example, what I'll do is I'll have AI look at all the reviews on a Google business profile and pick out the top 10 things that people are talking about in the reviews. And then I'll make sure those are always mentioned in the description and every post and update. Not only that, I will also make sure that when I reply to people's reviews, even though I can't control what they say, I can control my response to that. And my response is always SEO rich. Why? Because I want the search engine to find me. No reason in going through all these practices if I'm not going to get the visibility that I need. So that's very, very important. I'm still very personal and very true in my response. So everything's individualized, but I do not miss those 10 keywords every time that I respond to that. Now, the same thing too is, do you include those? Do you know what they are? Now, if you don't have any reviews, I actually go to competitors' reviews and I look at all their reviews. I download them all. I put it into AI, and AI can tell me in less than a minute what the top 10 things people like and the 10 things that they don't like. And if you ever want help with that, every month I actually do a free webinar, which is more of a free training session on Google updates and how to utilize and apply those, but also updates in AI overall. And we did a great session last month about how to use Notebook LM, especially if you want to keep your customer data private and you don't want to put it out there in general to public AI, because you may not want AI to learn from your customers' data and you want to be a good steward of your customers' information. It can help you know what content to put out, what titles and descriptions, titles and descriptions that are words that people are actually searching for so that you'll come up. And then you want to be organized, because I will tell you, most people leave a website. The number one reason is because it looks like it's disorganized. A lot of us use our homepage as a hot mess junk drawer. We just throw everything there and we hope that somebody will find it. And while hope is wonderful to have, all of you who've been with me know this, hope is wonderful to have. It is such a poor strategy. So being organized and making it nice and consistent for people helps build brand trust. Incorporating AI, Google, you said a free training. Oh, no, yeah, Angela was asking if I'm bringing the free training to Marketech. So no, I'm not at Marketech this year. That just hurts me because I really, really wanted to be at Marketech. I wish I could be two places at once. I really, really, really wish I could be two places at once because I love and adore Marketech, but I'm not going to be there. But there are so many, I do every month. It's a new training every month because, of course, AI changes every day, right? We see different things come on board, just like, now you can utilize the free ChatGPT 3.0 and you can use the Google Gemini Advanced, all free. They're no longer paid for, they're free. So they've brought the best to the market, and that just happened 3 days ago. That happened 3 days ago. So, it's, I'd love to connect with you, Angela, because I've been involved in AI since November 2020. And I'd love to be able to connect. Oh, definitely. Yes. I'll drop that link here if you ever want to sign up for, and you'll see it in the handouts that you get. Remember, to everybody, if you're just coming on, make sure that you do, get a copy of today's slides. I'm going to drop that one more time just in case somebody came in, because sometimes Zoom doesn't show what was posted before they came in. That way you can get a copy of today's slides. Just make sure you download it. Okay, that's really important. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for your feedback too. I am Angela. I mean, really, my assistant, Brittany, who is just like, she's my right and my left hand. We were trying to figure out all which ways because I wanted to be there so bad. I'm really not happy that I'm missing it. All right, technical improvements. Also, you need fast load time, and you need to make sure it looks good on all browsers, because we don't all just use Google, and we know that. We use Google Chrome, we use Brave, we use DuckDuckGo, we use Bing, we use Apple, we search on maps. So we need to know for sure that we look good everywhere and that we're mobile responsive, because Google will penalize heavily for two things. One is, and which, when I say penalize, which means you're not going to show up in search till past page 10, and nobody looks past the first page on a mobile device, the first 2 swipes, right? Because there's 10 searches on each page within a desktop or laptop, and 10 searches within the first 2 swipes on a mobile. So swipe up. So you need to look good, because number one, it'll penalize heavily if you don't have a secure site. So if it doesn't have the HTTPS, you need the S there. This is really important. If you're not, then you're going to be penalized, because Google doesn't think you're secure, and it wants to keep all of its users' information secure, not entering something that people are just harvesting data from. And then number 2 is you want to make sure that it's mobile responsive, which means it adjusts depending on, if I'm on my iPhone 14 compared to my Samsung 8 Plus is a little bit different compared to my iPad Pro, compared to my smart TV. It needs to be able to adjust like that. And if you are not mobile responsive, Google will also penalize you in search. Now, when we look at search terms, another great tool is Google Trends. All right. So does anybody want to give me something other than lettuce? I'm happy to use lettuce if that's our search term for today, but I definitely want to help you guys out to utilize Google Trends if you don't or you're not familiar with it. All right. If not, I'm going to lean into lettuce. Anybody have one last call? All right, granola. We'll go granola. Are people getting hungry? All right, I'm going to go ahead and switch screens here. This is Google Trends. It's 100% free to use. You don't even need a Google account to use this. So you're going to put granola in and you're going to hit explore. What happens is it comes up with everything that's being searched actively in Google right now. Now, of course, these are percentages that it's looking at because it's looking at all the traffic that's happening, but it gives you a good idea of where the trends are. So Vermont, Connecticut, Montana, Wyoming, and Idaho are talking about granola right now. Now, what are they talking about? They're talking about made good granola bars recall. So there's been a 4,900% increase in that. That means there are eyeballs there. The breakout ones, though, are the ones I like to look at a lot. And the reason I do is because they are just before a trend starts. So they're starting to see, you know what, this is ramping up. So if you ever wish to know of a TikTok trend before it happened because you felt like you were so behind the 8 ball and so therefore nobody saw you because everybody was already doing that dance or doing that thing or answering that question, now you are at the beginning of a trend. And you can start posting about this on socials and everything else, all of your videos and such. But let's say you want to get a little bit more specific, because you can. You can say this has been in the past day, but let's say I want to know if that has been trending in the past week. And not only that, I want to know if it's been trending at all in Nebraska. Not as much in Nebraska in the past 7 days, so it's probably not going to have enough search results, but let me see. Oh, enough though in the last 7 days. So it is Lincoln, Hastings, and Kearney talking about it. You guys want granola. Sioux Falls, Denver, Cheyenne, Scottsbluff, and Omaha. All right, are all talking about it. What are they talking about? They're talking about chewy granola. Look at all these breakout. Those are the ones I'd lean into. Now, there's nothing wrong with leaning into these 100%. It's just that people are already starting to go there. So there is some content competition. And if I were doing ads, because ads are always, the ad prices are based on search term popularity as well as your quality score. If I'm looking at this and thinking, okay, if I'm going to do an ad, I'm going to do a breakout ad because I don't want to pay much for an ad. And I want to be at the part where Google doesn't quite know yet that it's popular, and yet I can still get visible. So it's less cost per click. So I utilize this even when I do Meta ads and Amazon ads, because people, when they search whatever's in their fingertips. Remember what I said at the beginning about scroll, search, social, and shop. That is what we're doing now. Okay. Now, if I wanted to, I could just say, I'm going to do a video. So is this kind of stuff popular on YouTube? And I can just look at YouTube because it was giving me Google overall. Not yet on YouTube, but I can expand out and say, all right, let's look at the past 90 days. Not really, not in YouTube. So that's not where I'm seeing it. But I can see Denver, Colorado, and Omaha are looking to YouTube. So maybe I put some YouTube shorts out and YouTube videos because the market's not there, but I showcase heavy here. So I'm ahead of the curve. I'm the one showing things that people have not shown yet. Okay. So you have a chance to do that too. And you're using Google Trends to do that. Go back. All right. When you use Google Trends, if you look at the bullet points, there's 7 of them to the left. That's what you can use it for, to just really find out things, be fresh with your content, and even put your competitors' names in there to be able to see how people are being and finding them, so you can get some eyeballs looking at them, at you, from them looking at you. Okay, so there are core challenges. You need to be able to identify the trends, generate ideas, refine and adapt. This is what I like to use AI for. I go to AI. I've trained one of my AI chats to really understand a business or understand my business, understand my tone, my cadence, all of that by it reading a lot of my content to really get a good feel for it, and also how I respond to things, as well as watch my YouTube videos. You also need to know what your 3 core beliefs are. What makes you so different? And do you infuse those into the core challenges people are having and what you actually get to them? Cutting into what we were talking about with buyer awareness, which is really, 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 what is it that they want and how do you get that to them? Then you can choose where to focus. Google Analytics can help you do that. Remember, we have a full session on analytics, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but I am going to hit the high points because in order to get customers now, you need to listen to your customers, not just them visually speaking or verbally speaking, but also with their taps and their clicks. So tap is what you do on a touchscreen device or a mobile. Taps or clicks, you need to be able to look and see they are voting with their taps and clicks of what matters most to them. So how you can understand exactly what's happening is you can go to Google Search Console first. This is the door to the library, and you connect this to Google, to your site. You connect Google so it can tell you if the search engine has trust and belief in you. So let me show you that. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna go here so you can see what it looks like. And because I'm switching screens, it takes a moment. Okay, so for example, in this business, you can look here into Google Search Console and you can see how they're actually performing. This is how I decide with businesses where to focus, because you can do a lot of things and then who has enough time, energy, and money for that. So what I like to look at is see in the last 28 days what's been performing well. I look here to see what the search terms are that they're finding the website, so you know what the search term is and what position they're at. So if they're the #1 position for their brand name, that's good. What that also means is to be wary, because a lot of people who are your competitors will use your brand name in their ads to try get some of those eyeballs looking at them, right? All right, so what are some of the other things? Well, let's see. This is a clock pick. So it's a 2.8 position. I see right here, it's gotten 10.8% click-through rate. That's really good because 4 to 6% is the sweet spot. So to be at 10.8% means that a lot of people have interest, just not a lot of visibility. I would probably do some blog posts, maybe email, even recommend doing what is it that I'm thinking? Some blog posts, some videos. I was gonna say, I lost my thought for a moment. Some videos of this, because then I can get more impressions. I already got great click-through rate and position, and maybe we'll get more sales. I'll even get more specific and look at the different pages and say, okay, let me see. All right, well, there's great opportunity right here. There is something in the 7th position, so I know it's already there, easy to find. It's got great click-through rate at 11.4%, only 167 impressions. So I've got to get more eyeballs here. So I probably am. That's that clock pick. I'm going to do some videos about it. Let me go to the website and take a look at what that looks like. So when I look at the site, oh yeah, see, there's a clock pick here. I can do a lot of videos about it. I can probably flow in even some Instagram carousels and reels, highlighting a lot of these comments here. So these actual reviews, so real people reviews. I can showcase the back and forward like I'm doing here, hovering, but I can do a video of that. And I can also highlight the fact that I've got Afterpay. So you don't have to pay a lot. You don't have to pay it up front if you don't want to. So you see, I actually look and lean into Google Search Console to make decisions on time, because yeah, I mean, I could go to this one right here. Look at this. This is 2,458 people. So it's got visibility, but I'm number 20 and only 2%. That's a lot of heavy lifting that I'm going to have to do to a website to get you to number 10 and to get people to click on there, because there's something that I need to work on. It's not clickable right now, maybe. Maybe it's not showing up in mobile well enough. There's something about it just not connecting with people that they feel comfortable tapping and going all the way through. Okay, so that's how you can use Google Search Console. It lets you know what Google sees about you, because when Google trusts you, then it shows you higher in search. All right. When we are looking at what we're measuring, we do have to make sure we have SMART goals. We go into this in great depth in the Google Analytics webinar, but it is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. So it needs to be time bound. That's really important. And then when you look at analytics, you can take a look and see what's actually performing. I was working with a team yesterday who thought that Instagram was performing. Why? Because they had all these great followers, right? All these great likes. That's a vanity metric, okay? Likes do never, ever contribute to the bottom line at all. It's engagement. And their engagement rate was at 0.1%. So I looked at it and I said, well, really, this one that just got 50 likes, 51 likes, is actually better, because it got 51 likes, but you have a 74% engagement. So I would push this one out in an ad, because people just need to see it. They see it, they fall in love with it. They just don't know it exists. And if they don't know it exists, they can't choose it. All right. So when you understand your analytics, now you can make decision-based, really good, powerful decision based marketing decisions and strategy. And you can see how that influences different campaigns. When you are in your Google Analytics account, you can see exactly where things are coming from. Okay. You can make decisions. If you're getting a lot of direct search, so that means people who are actually typing in your brand name, then you may not have to use as much of your marketing efforts, time, and money on brand awareness because you already have that. If people are finding you by direct, that means they know your brand name, but they may need to see you other places, and you can find those in reports. Again, I go into depth in the Google Analytics session about how you can find that and where you can filter that. Okay, because you are going to use filters, you're going to compare it to how it performed last week, last month, and you can actually update and customize that date range in there. You can also see what's happening in real time. So if I just released a post, I just did a video on TikTok, I just did an email marketing, I can go directly to Google Analytics and see in real time who's taking action on it. And I like to see that because I want to know whether or not it's relevant. Are those eyeballs coming to me, or do I need to stop wasting any time with that? Even though it seems like it's the smartest thing to me, I'm not my best customer. All right. And then where do they come from? What's really performing? Again, I'm not a Pinterest person because I think it's an amazing time suck for me, but I know that when I look at analytics, there are a lot of businesses that have Amazon and they sell things at Amazon shops. And I know Pinterest feeds Amazon shops. So if you have an Amazon shop, I say, look at Pinterest because it can drive there. You could put all these great things together, all these great collaborations together, or just even a catalog compiled of different things together. And you can make a lot of bang for your buck by doing that. And then also engagement rate. You heard me talk about that. Bounce rate is so 2024. It is something that people don't look at anymore because why? Remember what I said? We look at 5 different devices. I've got 2 phones. I have 4 laptops. I have 2 desktops, and I have 2 smart TVs. When I go from one place to the other, if I'm in my vehicle, I'm at a coffee shop, I'm at the office, or I'm at home, I bounce to all of those. Those would be seen as a high bounce rate, but I'm still engaged because it's still me. So engagement rate is really what's critical these days. And then how people are buying. Abandoned checkout is so different from abandoned cart. The messaging and what's happening in each of those is so drastically different. You need to know what those are and then how you can improve those and retain and keep loyal customers. Knowing the tech of your audience is also important because now you can make good business decisions on, what they're all on mobile. So I only have this many hours that I'm going to make sure mobile shows this. I'll do desktop later. You need to be able to make those kind of critical decisions because you could spend all day tweaking and refining everything. Now do know, and I want you to make sure you save this because right at the very bottom, at the very left, you see a link that you can go to find out more about Google's Analytics Intelligence, a different AI, but it is AI-powered search within analytics, which is nice because you don't have to know all the different filters and things that you need to put together to get to information. You can just Google it in the Analytics Intelligence bar. All right. Your business profile is also important. Remember what I said about how much it feeds AI overviews? This is so critical. And I just did a session for a group of Texas notaries day before yesterday, talking to them about how they can really optimize this more than just the basics. So it's important for you to know exactly what you need to do. But in order to know that, you need to know who your customers are, the words that they're shopping with, how they actually shop, search, scroll, and social. You need to know those things. That's on us. And the thing about us as small businesses is we can be nimble and we can find that out pretty quickly. And then we can be hyper personal. So what is it that you're going to do today to grow your online presence? What are you going to take action on that you learned today? Remember what I said at the beginning. Knowledge is not powerful until it is applied. So either I've been great edutainment for you today or something to help you grow your business. I'd love to hear in the chat box how you're going to apply what you've learned. And always know that you have Grow Nebraska right there in your corner, always there supporting you. If you decide, you know what, Maria kept talking about that analytics course, I need to know more about it. So Tanya will immediately, and Cami will say, Maria, we need to get this on the calendar. Or they'll talk to Brittany, because Brittany really is the one who's in charge of my calendar. And they'll say that, and it'll happen. So just please speak to them. Even if it's not me, just if you need support, see them. They're a resource to you. Utilize this resource because it's so valuable. I've seen the heart of these people anytime I've come to Marketech or anytime that I'm in Nebraska, and they absolutely care. Everything they talk about is making sure that you guys are successful. Okay, so make sure you do that. And if you want me to do an SEO audit, this is a free SEO audit. It's actually going to be automatically done by our system. You can get that SEO audit, and it'll let you know where you might need to fix some things. You can either touch base with me, but definitely touch base with Grow Nebraska, because they know locally who could help you here. And I would much rather you do business locally and help improve the quality of life of your community and support your friends and family and neighbors more than anything else. But this will give you at least a good roadmap to see what you may need to fix. Okay. All right, everybody, we've gone through a lot. Remember what I said, go and connect with me on socials. This Bitly link, Bitly is all case sensitive. If you need to, use the link and find whatever social, all my socials are there. Find the one that you like to use the most. I'll connect with you there. And I'd love to celebrate that you actually applied what you learned, okay? And I model all the time what I preach, and that is ask for a review anytime you've given good service, product, or information. If I've been helpful to you, I would love that. But you don't have to. I would just be honored. More than anything, please, please, please give Google Nebraska the review that they're going to ask for, because they're there. They want to know, they're paying attention. They always want to know what is most helpful for you. All right. Any questions that anybody has that I may have missed in chat or that was submitted through Q&A? Don't see any. And I'm sufficiently hungry now that everybody said lettuce and granola. So I will let you go if that's what needs to happen next. But Tanya, Cami, if you didn't see any come in through Q&A, and if we're ready to go, then we can go. Angela, you're very welcome.
We haven't seen any others come in. If you do have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat or email us afterwards, and we will get those over to Maria and get them answered. Thank you so much for sharing all the information. We have so many wonderful Google tools and AI tools that we can go and apply. Start somewhere, start applying that knowledge, pick one thing to start implementing. We will follow up with an email so that you have the slides, the resources, so you at your time can keep plugging away to grow your business. We love partnering with you, so we're so glad you could join us. If you are a member of Grow Nebraska, connect with us. We want to hear from you. If you love this training, if you want us to bring her back to do AI later on, we're happy to. Let us know. You can leave us a Google review and tell us how awesome this training was. Or you can also just message us. We have our contact information on the screen. We are going to keep preaching about Marketech because we are ecstatic. We are sad that Maria's not joining us this year. However, we are thrilled of the lineup we have going. We will have some AI sessions there coupled with some other social media. So that is exciting. And so save the date, March 25th and 26th. We did sell out last year. So make sure if you're interested, you go secure your spot. Do it today. If you have questions or want to know more about the conference, because this might be the first time, reach out to us. We'd love to tell you who's coming. Visit markettechconference.com. We have everything out there as well. And finally, we are on YouTube. So if you love this training, if you want to be the first to know about all of our trainings, subscribe. The recordings are always put out there on our channel. Or you can visit Grow Nebraska and go to our upcoming trainings and get registered for all the ones that are upcoming. We will have a sneak peek to our keynote for Marketech coming on March 6th. As a kind of a Zoom just like this. And so be sure to register for that one. And finally, next week, same time, kind of same platform, we are bringing Embracing Effective One-on-Ones with Christy. You're going to want to be live for that because that's a very much interactive. You let us know kind of what you want, and the speaker is going to tailor it to who's in attendance. And so we love that you guys all joined us today. Thank you again to our awesome speaker, and we hope to see you again on our next training. Bye.